425 matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to be battling them on the road in Missouri. And there's a couple things that we should look at right away. Down a couple receivers. Everybody knows the injury that Xavier Worthy had via Travis Kelce getting knocked and blowing his shoulder out of his socket because he doesn't know how to run a pick route right. And now they're down how many receivers? One or two receivers.
Good, guys.
And what we
Good
have
night.
now is a depleted offense for the Kansas City Chiefs. Helps the Eagles because right now we still don't know. They're starting to Dory Jackson at that second corner. We know that Quinyon Mitchell is going to shut down somebody who should be on a second team somewhere. It's going to be Hollywood Brown. Not a really hard cover. Guy can get deep, has some deep speed, some intermediate patterns. But I don't expect from the Chiefs receivers what they would want. There you go. Now, Isaiah Pacheco can cause some problems, but the Eagles' defense looked stout last week, and we're getting back the mad spitter. Jalen Carter, who spit on Dak Prescott last week before the game even started, avoided suspension by the NFL, saying he was suspended that game. Everybody thought a game was coming. That's a good thing. Let's pivot to the Chiefs' defense, how they match up against this Eagles' offense that was efficient. The Dallas Cowboys were prepared in a lot of ways in their coverage sets for the Eagles, which caused a lot of problems for the Eagles' passing game. They still got it done, made the plays when they needed to, had a splash play to Jahan Dotson. Look for more of that this week. They're going to try to push the ball downfield. Obviously, A.J. Brown is going to need to eat this week.
I think so.
He's got to eat. And I would look for a heavy dose of Saquon Barkley. I think the Chargers proved in week one that the Chiefs could be had downhill. They had the rookie Hampton run for almost a buck on them. Looked good inside the tackles. And last time I checked, we have the best running back in the NFL. So look for maybe 150 on the yards from Saquon Barkley. I'm going to look for Jalen Hurts to have an efficient day. Short, intermediate routes is what gets it done against this Chiefs defense. They're going to come after them, but we already know we have the best offensive line in football, which is healthy. We'll be ready to go up to the mass. The crowd noise doesn't bother me. They have checks. Jalen Hurts is a general when it comes to that. We're not worried about communication. No. We move back over to special teams, ended up. I give the nod to the Eagles special teams. They've been violent downhill on all punt returns and all kickoffs. They actually had a good play to return one last week to set them up in good field position. I look for them to win that match. I look for the Eagles to take this game on the road from the depleted Chiefs and send the Chiefs to 0-2 with a 28-21 win. Chiefs get one
The
lead.
Chiefs 20-17 on the road. Thought that was coming. The one thing the Chiefs had a problem with, which I called, is the run game. Patrick Mahomes led them with 66 yards rushing against a Super Bowl team, a high playoff caliber team. You can't have your quarterback lead the way with 66 yards. Kareem Hunt with 31 yards on the ground. Isaiah Pacheco with 22. Pathetic. Now, let's jump to the other side of the ball. What they did is they paced the Chiefs with 88 yards with Saquon. They moved the ball. Hurts was very judicial with the football, and he was patient. And let's not forget that he used the deep ball when he needed it to and trusted his guy. Slim Reaper, 6, in the end of the game, had a big catch, which put him at the leading pass catcher at 53 yards with 4 catches. But he moved the ball around, and it showed that he didn't have Dallas Goedert, and that was a problem. But honestly, the play of the game was Drew Makuba keeping his eyes open and seeing the ball batted out of Travis Kelce's hand by Zach Bond and making a interception and bringing it out, and we turn that into a touchdown.
Weren't there mistakes though?
There were mistakes here and there, and let's be real with you. The game slowed down. The Chiefs wanted to have a slower game. They did not want to leave the Eagles' offense on the field that long, which, as much as they wanted it, the game put them on there.
What were some of the mistakes?
Some of their mistakes is that the Eagles didn't have a tight end and they didn't work the intermediate offense as they typically would do with Goddard. They got some down to Calcaterra, and they needed A.J. Brown today, which was good to see A.J. Brown catch 5 for 27. Now, granted, he could have gone for a lot more, but the game calls for what it is. The Eagles figured out a way to win the football game. Special teams, offense, obviously, Hurts ran it efficiently. Zero turnovers. On defense, we got our first big turnover of the game. Drew Makuba turned the ball over in the end zone from the Chiefs, and we literally, that changed the game. Because then you went up 20-10. Chiefs are pushing. They're pressing. They have no receivers.
You got to catch those.